finally get Obi-Wan-Kenobi, the TV series. After years of will it, won't it, it was greenlit, it wasn't greenlit, they canceled it, they bring it back, all of that, so we get it. And you would think that after all that time, they would put together a story that would, draw you in, get you to see what happens with Obi-Wan while before we saw him again. I mean, we basically saw what happened at the end of the Star Wars, the original Star Wars saga, what happened at the beginning when he was older and met Luke. So we had all this time in between, and we were trying to figure out what exactly could have happened. So okay, after when the show begins, it's 3 episodes in, so we're already halfway through, and I'm going to just go through this because the first 2 episodes came out on one day and they don't take much time to really delve through at all. And then I'll get to the 3rd episode, which is basically the reason for the name of this video. So in the first episode, we get flashbacks on what happened with Obi-Wan-Kenobi as a Jedi, everything that happened that led up to him fighting Anakin and then, cutting off his limbs and leaving him to be roasted alive in the lava, which didn't kill him and he became Darth Vader. And then, normal stuff, he dropped off Luke and then went into hiding, all of that. Okay, so we pick up 10 years after all of that. We find out that Obi-Wan is living on Tatooine, working in a meat shop and stalking Luke from a distance to watch to see what happens. Make sure he's safe and all of that. Then we meet the Inquisitors. We have the Grand Inquisitor, we have some other 5th brother or something, and then we get introduced to Reva, played by Moses Ingram, who, as you will know, Disney made a whole thing about saying how, those racial comments directed at her and all of these sort of things. But then Moses Ingram did prove that she clearly has no idea anything about Star Wars. And she, I believe, made statements alluding to the fact that she's the first black person in Star Wars. Apparently, somebody missed Mace Windu and all of them, but okay. So they show up on the planet looking for some other Jedi. They find Mr. Jedi. She looks to kill him. Jedi escapes because the Grand Inquisitor let him go. And you get an idea of 3 things with this character called Reva, well, played by Moses Ingram. 1, her entire character basis is basically angry black woman. That's it. Angry black woman. Why is she angry? We don't know. But she's just angry black woman. 2, she seems to have this hard-on to find Obi-Wan Kenobi, even though we never find out how she knows he's alive, and everybody else probably thinks he's dead. We don't know how she knows he's alive. We don't know why she's hunting him so badly. We don't know what her reasons for going after him with this intention of wanting to find him and sort of this basic obsession. We never find out what that is. We don't. All we know is that her entire role is angry black woman. So the Jedi that escaped goes to Obi-Wan, say he needs help. Obi-Wan tell him he can't help him. Jedi had done whatever. So they find Mr. Lost Jedi and kill him and hang his corpse up in tongue. Horrifying. Yes, we all are supposed to care. Then we cut to Leia, who is living on Alderaan. Now, it would have been that, Alderaan, it's a lovely planet, we all see. It's very lovely and thing, but let's not forget in episode 4, it got blown to hell, so that's probably one thing. So we meet Leia, and instantly you learn that Leia is apparently a 40-year-old woman trapped in a 10-year-old child's body. She is unbelievably annoying for a small child. Really, really freaking annoying for a small child. Constantly wants to run away and go and play and all kind of thing, whatever. So all of a sudden, these 3 dimwit-looking fellas decide to show up to try and kidnap her. And somehow, this small 10-year-old child outruns these 3 full-grown hardback men for quite a bit of distance. She's outrunning them before they eventually capture her. Big whoop. So then, her father calls Kenobi and asks for help to get Leia back. He refuses, saying he's not the man he once was and all of that, whatever crap. So then he shows up personally to ask him for help. She decides to. End of episode 1. Nothing really to speak of there. We go to episode 2. Kenobi tracks down some of these kidnappers to some planet called Dayu. Meets some fake conman wannabe Jedi who actually is more interesting than Kenobi. Honestly, more interesting than Kenobi. Also, I forgot to mention it in the last episode, we learned that apparently Reva was the one who hired these three idiots to kidnap Leia to lure Kenobi out of hiding, because Leia's father, well, adopted father, had a connection to Obi-Wan. Again, we don't know why she is so obsessed with finding Obi-Wan. We don't know how she even believes he's alive. We don't know what connection, but apparently they're alluding to the fact there's some connection between them, enough to make her into a raving lunatic. So Obi-Wan goes to where Leia is being held captive. He breaks in, beats up a few people. It's very uninteresting, and saves Leia. Reva shows up, find out that the girl has escaped. She's upset. The Grand Inquisitor comes, locks down the entire planet, and orders Reva to stand down. He will find Kenobi himself. So she decides, okay, I'm going to disobey orders and put a bounty on Kenobi's head, so every lowlife on this planet or in this city apparently is going to be hunting for them, which works, and they start hunting him down. When Kenobi trying to protect Leia, and she's all, oh no, they're after you, not me, and runs away. And once again, grown man unable to catch small 10-year-old child who's running away. I would have probably just left her, but okay, that's just me, annoying as usual. Once again, we learn only one thing about Reva. Her one character trait, angry black woman. And I will say this, a lot of this whole talk about all this racial stuff directed towards online, all that kind of thing. Now, I don't know, I haven't seen any of these things. I see they put out some post showing a little screenshots of one thing. I didn't find it was very racist, to be honest with you, but I'm not saying, I'm saying, no, the racial things against people is not right. It's not to be accepted, anything like that at all. But after watching these episodes, I could honestly say, when it comes to Moses Ingram, I have no problem with her race. I think she's a very, very pretty black woman. I have no problem with that. Very lovely woman, all of that. But I don't know anything else that she's ever starred in or been in, anything like that. I can't remember if I've ever seen her in anything like that. I could be wrong, but I don't remember seeing anything like that. My biggest problem with it is her very character in this show. Because it's not even one-dimensional, it's just one. Angry black woman. That's it. And you got to understand, people are going to be upset if the only thing they're getting about this character is angry black woman. But this is the trend that we're getting with this show, where Kenobi himself, the show is called Obi-Wan-Kenobi, and yet he is being excluded. He barely has any presence. I mean, yes, Ewan McGregor is playing him, and it's good. You see glimpses of him as Kenobi. Okay, not a problem. We like that he is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay, but the thing about it is that he's completely and constantly overshadowed in this show. They push Reva onto you like she's supposed to be this really cool and interesting person, but she isn't. There's this part in the second episode where some bounty hunters are trying to catch Kenobi, and she's running across buildings and jumping and flipping and sliding and things. And you're like, okay, none of this really interests me because there's nothing about this character that I actually like at all. She's less than one-dimensional. She's just angry black woman. That's it. So anyway, we end up getting to this part where the same fake Jedi, he helps Kenobi and Leia and gives them coordinates to go to this cargo area where they'll get on a ship and go to somewhere where people will help them. While they're going there, Reva shows up and Kenobi is hiding there, and she reveals to him that, oh, by the way, Anakin Skywalker, who's known as Darth Vader, is alive. How in God's name did he not know that? I mean, it's been 10 years and, you know, there had to be something beforehand, but no, she just informs him that Darth Vader is alive. Then the Grand Inquisitor shows up and tells her to stand down. So what does she do? She stabs him with her lightsaber, killing him. So I guess anybody who was thinking, yeah, he's going to survive, he's in Rebels, nope, he's dead. He's dead. That's it. He's not coming back, he's dead. When she does that now, Kenobi escapes with Leia under the transport and they leave the planet. Okay, that happens. And then we get to episode 3. We see Kenobi is trying to use the Force to meditate, to connect with his master Qui-Gon Jinn, who apparently has much better things to do in the afterlife than talk to him. I can't blame him. Clearly, the man realizes that he's a waste of space. They end up on this planet, Mapuzo. They head towards the rendezvous point that they were supposed to meet the people at. They didn't find anybody there, so they hitch a ride on this transport ship, meet some Imperial soldiers, some stormtroopers who come on board. They get suspicious at a checkpoint. Kenobi shoots them. Then when they go through there now, they capture some other stormtroopers. One of them is a woman because, you know, it's important that the women be as prominent as possible. It's not going to be the last time, but okay. Tells Kenobi to get down on the ground while he's still holding the damn blaster pointed at you. She's holding, you know, Leia hostage. Let him get down. Never says to throw away the blaster, no. Then an Imperial officer, also a woman, shows up, shoots the other stormtroopers, and then reveals that she was the one they were supposed to meet. But when she arrived, but she was delayed because Reva has she was delayed because Reva, who apparently comes back to this planet where all the other Inquisitors are, and then we get to find out that apparently Reva wants to capture Kenobi because she wants to be Grand Inquisitor, and then she contacts Vader. We get to see Vader, Darth Vader suiting up. It's very it doesn't have the same, you know, the same sort of vibe it would have when we see Darth Vader. I mean, it's really not there. And okay, I am happy to see Hayden Christensen reprise his role as Darth Vader, and we get to hear James Earl Jones giving a fantastic use of the Darth Vader voice as usual, but it's bloody underwhelming. We get to find out that the whole reason Reva it wants to be Grand Inquisitor, and that's why she's after Kenobi, but that doesn't even really explain anything at all. So anyway, back to what happens with the planet now. Now, the Imperial officer who showed up and said that, you know, she was the one that they were supposed to meet, but she was delayed because of some message she got from Reva, and when she arrived, they weren't there, which makes no sense because she came from the opposite direction that they came from. She would have had to go all the way around the whole bloody continent to get to them. But, you know, once again, this makes no sense whatsoever. It's just absolutely important in this show that they push the fact that all the women are absolutely amazing and all the men are just worthless garbage. So she takes them to this safe house where they could hide out for a time being, and it had some tunnels to lead them wherever. While they're there, Kenobi senses this presence, and all of a sudden we see Darth Vader walking through town along with the Inquisitors, literally just torturing and killing people. He grabs one man and force chokes him, then snaps the man's son's neck and drags a woman along, all to lure Kenobi out. How in God's name? I mean, think about it, that this planet is way on the outskirts. These people probably have, somehow these people are well aware of who Darth Vader is and to be afraid. So how in God's name did Kenobi not know Darth Vader was alive for 10 years? So he never torture or kill anybody in that time? That's it. All of this to drag out all that. Now, I will say one thing. In most of this episode, Reva was tolerable because she didn't say anything. Because while Vader is tormenting and killing people, even the Inquisitors look a little uncomfortable and scared. So, you know. So Kenobi tells the Imperial officer, I forget her name, to take Leia and head through the tunnels. He will lure them away. So he goes out now and at this quarry encounters Darth Vader. Darth Vader shows up, lights up his lightsaber, and Kenobi turns and runs. The man just literally lifts up his skirt and takes off. It was the most pathetic bitch move I ever seen. I mean, you are literally a freaking Jedi. And you just ran from this man because you're so terrified and scared of him. But it doesn't end there, because while he's running and hiding, Vader's walking around telling him, "You cannot hide, Kenobi. Your fear gives you away," and all of this. And then all of a sudden, with no sound, no nothing, he shows up behind Kenobi and attacks him with his lightsaber. I mean, how exactly did he do that? How did he literally hold his breath? Because we all know he has some serious breathing problems. He has to breathe through a freaking apparatus. You get the whole... But somehow you don't hear that. I mean, literally holding his breath for any period of time could literally kill him, but somehow he does it. Then we get the most pathetic, worthless, idiotic lightsaber fight you've ever seen. Worse than anything the last few Star Wars movies had to offer, because it wasn't even a fight. It was just basically Vader going back with a lightsaber and Kenobi dropping. "Oh my God, I can't take it. I can't take it. It's been 10 years. I'm rusty. I'm sorry. I can't hold on." And you're supposed to train Luke Skywalker in what? What the hell are you supposed to train him in how to use the Force? You don't know how to do that. You can't fight to save your life. I don't know what this shit was the point of any of this, but somehow he does it. So, while that's going on, in the very building where it had the secret entrance that Leia and the other woman went through, this service droid that was working with them comes out of the building, Reva sees it, and for some reason decides to go in there, find the secret entrance and everything, because again, women smart, men stupid. She then somehow gets to the... Now, while Leia and this woman are running away, Leia convinces the woman to go back to help Kenobi. She will go on her own. You leave a 10-year-old child to go on your own and you go back. Now, while the Imperial officer woman goes back, she never runs into Reva. We don't know if she comes out some other entrance or something, because we don't know. It's never explained. There's no other entrance nowhere. But she goes out some other entrance. Meanwhile, Kenobi is getting force choked by Darth Vader, who then lights some flaming rocks some combustible rocks on fire, and then drags him through the fire, telling him that your suffering has only begun. And he's screaming, "Oh God, no, I'm so sorry, I'm such a loser." And you're sitting there just shaking your head like, oh God, look what they're doing to this series. Rather than kill him, no, he decides to stop and orders some stormtroopers to capture him. Same Imperial woman, she shows up there. We don't know how she got to that location. We don't know. And fires a blaster, killing one of the stormtroopers. We know the direction it came from. You know what happened. But everybody's looking all around. They don't know what's happening. Even Vader doesn't know. She then ignites the rest of the combustible rocks. The same service droid comes, picks up Kenobi, and walks away while Vader stands there watching and does nothing. Absolutely nothing. When Leia makes it to the end of the so-called escape tunnel, who's waiting for her there? Reva, who's already killed the person she's supposed to meet at the end. We don't know how Reva got to the end of this tunnel. We don't know why she knew the tunnel existed. nothing, but then she goes after Leia, and I'm quite certain, you know, even though Leia was able to outrun grown men, she won't be able to outrun the woman, because that's more important than anything else. I don't know, boy. 3 episodes and they just done shit up this thing so bad, you know. This would not have been such a bad show had they done everything about it differently. Literally everything they done differently about it wouldn't have been such a bad show. But 3 episodes in, you're pissed all over it. So we got 3 more to go. I'm going to watch the other 3 episodes, and not because I'm thinking it's going to get better. I think it's probably going to get much, much worse. But I want to see what's going to happen so I can inform you all just how crappy this is going to be. I'm not sure if I might do it episode by episode at this point. It depends on what happens in the episode. If I think it's warranted for me to do that, then I will. Or I might just wait until the other 3 episodes are out and then follow up and give you my rating for this. But so far, it is just awful. Kenobi and Darth Vader should have never met. You all have completely retconned everything about this show, because Kenobi and Leia should have never met. Kenobi and Darth Vader should have never met. It's just god-awful, but just really, really god-awful. Anyway, that's it for me. That's what I got for these 3 episodes. Let me know any comments, what you think, if you've seen it so far, if you haven't seen it, what you think you might, whatever. I shall see you all next time. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And until next time, I wonder what they'll do with Cowardly Kenobi next. Take care.